gAmEflip.
Welcome everybody to gAmEflip, and today we are back with Psychonauts.
Psychonauts.
Make it to a three-parter. That's almost impressive for us. I
Dude,
guess it's about
that's
average.
crazy. I think this is a world record, to be honest with you.
World record at, like, inconsistency.
Yeah, but that's okay. Makes for some interesting plays.
Okay, I'm ready to learn.
Fucking Benjamin Button Bottoms here.
Right?
Really?
What?
Nothing. It's just that
So
I
you can
didn't
go
think
fight
you'd
that
really
little
take me up on that
gross
offer. It usually scares
thing.
the kids off.
Well, I need to be able to,
Listen,
do stuff to fight.
What she doesn't know won't hurt her.
You need to learn how to really fight.
Right?
I could lose my job.
I'll get one.
How to really, really fight for real.
Never in a million.
I'm off.
You know, this game's weird to me.
Hmm.
I don't know, like, it looks like a game that I half could get behind and half could not get behind.
You finally made it. It's an honor to finally meet you in person, sir. I thought I recognized you in my dream, but I couldn't be sure. Now that I see
Like,
you
I
in your
think
element, there's
it's
no
just, like,
doubt.
too out
You're
there
a
for me.
pro.
And that's weird, because I'm an
Greatest
out
leader
there
the
kind of guy.
Psychonauts ever
I don't know,
had.
this is definitely right up my alley. I mean, aside from, RPGs. This is like, if you're gonna do a platformer and try to get me interested, this is where you need to be.
I had a vision,
Wonky, like Tim
huge
Burton-esque.
monster with yellow eyes,
Yeah.
big mouth full of
Yeah, I
passion.
think Tim Burton's a pretty good baseline comparison.
Yeah. I think it was
This
like an old
game is
tiny
like
house.
Tim Burton.
I see.
Old.
Yeah, it's like older Tim Burton. It's a little bit like Tim Burton before he started spending so much time rehashing his scripts with Johnny Depp, and it feels like they sort of got caught in a vortex of the same idea over and over again.
Yeah, because they're all like, whoa, dude, Frankenweenie. Yeah, that doesn't seem that good.
Thanks.
Frankenweenie wasn't that good. It had some interesting things, but it was like,
It should be probably
Lots of work to do.
very telling that I haven't actually seen Frankenweenie.
My head.
Frankenwiener.
Okay.
It's about a zombie penis.
I don't think that's the truth.
No, it's pretty true. It was the most terrifying movie I've ever seen.
Oh, I know what they'll.
Come to think of it, I was 16 at the time. I don't know if that's allowed.
So I hear you get a zombie penis.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, necrotic,
Look at this
falls
guy.
off halfway.
Look at this guy's finger guns.
Alright, I'm now ranked 10. Which means I
Zombie
get a new
penis.
power.
It's always flaccid.
Oh. It's always rancid.
Oh.
In recognition of your hard work, dedication,
We
and
feel bad for you, zombie penis.
proud to bestow upon you
The official merit badge for
Zombie penis.
pyrokinesis.
pyrokinesis. Oh, great.
Merit badge for setting shit on fire.
Yeah. Throw those fireballs, son. Throw those balls, son.
I technically have pyrokinesis before I even have normal, just mental force bullets.
Cool. I can't wait to burn.
I can't wait to burn.
What are we doing here?
Inside your mind.
I can't wait to set myself on fucking fire.
I can't wait to burn either. It just sounds
Happy
compelling.
memories? I wouldn't have run away. Like that. So I'll need.
And why you
It almost sounds like my suffering will end.
There we go.
focus?
Burn. Focus.
Oh, there we go.
Great, great. Now burn the
Oh,
pink
wow.
sheet. You're getting warmer. Keep going.
That's pretty.
Ooh, it's getting
That's pretty
hot in
incredible.
here.
He set shit on fire.
Focus on this last one.
Nelly.
Hold it
It's
while you
getting
use
hot
your
in the
pyrokinesis
summer
power.
to take off all your clothes.
I didn't train you in that, so you could set
There's
me
like
on
4 do
fire.
not take off your
Get
clothes.
Do not
Are you
take off
waiting?
your clothes.
Oh,
Excellent
you
work.
just lit a little puppy on fire.
that's the-
Fire
I
is
think it's like
pretty.
a
You're free to
toy
go,
tiger
but
thing.
you have to promise
No.
me.
Or
Only
toy
use
lion.
power, pyrokinesis only.
Or quit lying.
It's very,
Yeah.
very important.
Ha
It's really,
ha.
really
Ha ha. You one
promise.
funny
And
guy,
if you do
Eric.
it to impress girls, make sure none of them have on a
Quit lying.
hairspray.
That'd be funny.
Oh man, so what are you gonna do with those, with that big black nightmare boy?
Well,
Where would you
I
like?
got to finish my actual training using Psybullets first.
Agent Nine's lab, please.
With pleasure.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a thing you should do.
Probably.
Man, it's been a while since we've recorded something.
Yeah, been about a week.
Yeah, I know, that's like a week too long.
It's draining. Alright, let's talk to the
Okay,
guy.
I got it. Check it out.
Excellent. Well, my ass is covered.
My ass is
Are you
covered
sure you are ready to do this?
in
It
pant.
would be
Would you like to see it?
My ass is covered in pant. It is very strange because I am talking about the donkey.
I am talking about the mule.
Yes. Are you gonna pull me into your mind like the coach?
The mule is covered
No
in
offense,
pants.
but it's time you
In
saw
tons
what
and tons of
organized life
pants.
looks
I
like.
have glued them to the mule.
I went and I watched Ready Player One today.
Yeah, I saw that earlier this week. Well, it's
was
actually trying to get me to go back to it.
Like, I'll admit it, it was pretty good. It wasn't, obviously it wasn't as good as the book was. This is game review, by the way. We just review movies and books and media now.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on our first
I-
episode.
I'd do it. I actually will at some point do some reviews, and I may steal that name because I can. Just
Game
gotta
review?
literally just
Man,
call
that's
it
pretty.
call it gAmEflip, and then literally put a cross through the flip in it, and call it review. And put review at the
Yeah.
bottom.
I don't know. Like, I read the book first, so obviously I wasn't like that pleased with the movie. But you're gonna lose meaning in a movie that's 2.5 hours long.
So I actually have the book right next to me, and I haven't read it. I've had it for like 2 years, and just super lazy.
It's pretty good. Like, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The first part of the movie, like the first key of the movie, it didn't portray the same way he got it in the book, which you probably figured.
Well done,
He-
Raz. Well done, Raz. Keep
He went to a cave outside of his school in the Oasis,
Mm-hmm.
and he played arcade games with the zombie demon king, like the Lich King,
Mm-hmm.
for the first key. Like, that was how he did it that time. And I was excited to see the Lich King because he was described in such intricate detail. And I'm just like, damn, bitch, he's not even in this movie.
Right. You know, it's things like that I'm not super worried about.
good. Again. Good.
When they change up something from the movie, especially when it comes to like demonstration and display, it's giving the movie its own unique properties. It's not
You saw in your vision?
trying to diverge from the book
Sure
to,
seemed a lot
you know,
bigger than
insult
that.
people or anything else like that, and people seem to get super offended by it, but really there's things that really come out better in certain mediums. H.P. Lovecraft's a great example. Almost every H.P. Lovecraft movie has been something I would watch, go, pull out of the DVD player and throw right in the toilet.
Why do they come after me?
I mean, it's just they come out so bad, but H.P. Lovecraft's writing is mesmerizing.
I was attacked in
And
my
you think,
own
well, you've already got the first part, it's already written for you, how can you fuck it up?
Or you could be insane. We'll test.
I think that's a large part of it. And it's also why video game movies don't do super great, because what works in a video game doesn't necessarily work in a movie, and that's a thing that Ready Player One had to worry about.
It has just
I
returned to its
don't
basic
think Ready
form.
Player One actually had to worry about that much.
Go absorb it. It's good
I
for
think-
your mental health.
The
I
main
mean,
issue...
what video game mechanics would look fun to watch? So, World of Warcraft's mechanics, which it sounds like the first boss largely played off of, wouldn't be fun the way that
So be on the lookout for
a
these
racing
small,
game's
dense
mechanics would be to
clusters of
watch.
raw psychic aggression.
I-
Absorb these as
it's
well to make
complicated.
sure
I
you
think
always have enough
It's
firepower.
not... Like, Ready
Now
Player
leave
One
the machine
was...
on for you.
This is a really
Practice.
serious
Come
conversation,
back every day
but,
to
like,
3 weeks.
I'm digging it, because it's something like we can do, you know? I
Right.
think Ready Player One, I find that it was a tale of a dystopian society being overrun by, you know, IOI, trying to create their own form of cyber utopia.
Well, there's the problem there, is IOI didn't cause the utopia that is his living space. IOI
Well, no, they
sort of
wanted-
is just trying to make the world they're
Monopolize
in crappier.
They're
And
trying to
wow, I'm just gonna call this
monopolize the
episode spoiler alert.
Yeah,
This is gonna take
but
forever.
like,
Wonder if
I
can
don't
speed
think
it up
Ready
some.
Player One has the same problem gaming like movies have, because Ready Player One is not in and of itself literally a gaming movie, you know?
Yes,
It
but
re-
the elements have to look good. Look at Pixels.
Yes. Oh god.
That's a perfect example of elements of gameplay, almost some of them are taken literally, and just being awful because they're in a movie.
I wonder what would happen
Well,
if I turned that dial.
I want to say this. I want to say that the reason Ready Player One isn't going to struggle as bad as something like I don't know, like the Halo DVDs, is because people play games because games give people a variety of choice, but when you start putting someone on a linear line of what to expect, where they can't choose what's happening,
Yeah.
then you start to find fault in it. But with Ready Player One, since Ready Player One, I mean, it was written as a book, obviously, but since Ready Player One only seems to surround itself with, like, the idea of these games being, like, coming to fruition, right?
Right, but
You don't actually have, like, a line of text or a storyline that this represents. So it's free to do its own thing.
it still has to present itself in a way that is digestible to the type of audience you're bringing it to, and the two audiences aren't always reconcilable. In fact, even the same person will want something different at that time period.
It's you would go and, like, don't get me wrong, like, Ready Player One is definitely going to do better than, like, a Super Mario movie, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's because Super Mario has defined itself as a side-scrolling platformer,
Still not fast
and
enough.
giving them 3D renditions of one's self would not intrigue enough people because it does not follow what cannot do in said game, and it puts you on a storyline rather than, I don't know, like an adventure, and you lose that sense of freedom and that sense of wonderment in something so one track.
Right, and I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but I'm just saying it's going to suffer a lot of the same choke points. Because, like, if you played a game that felt like Ready Player One... Actually, Ready Player One would actually... It's funny, despite the fact it's got video games as content, it'd probably make a terrible video game because it's trying to rope in too many things. Like,
Yeah.
games that don't have a focus tend to get messy. I mean, World of Warcraft got lazier once they started doing shit like putting Pokemon in it.
They did that.
Yeah, well, it's got an element like Pokemon, basically.
Still not fast enough.
There's also Farmville in World of Warcraft now.
Farmville.
Yeah, you can actually, like, build farms that make you equipment and shit.
You know me, I love farming simulators.
Well, so the Farmville can actually, like, get you materials that you'll use that you could either hunt for or do the farming. And
Well, I mean, that's at
sometimes the
least
farming's more
interesting.
efficient. It is, but you lose focus, and I think that's one of the reasons you don't like Brutal Legend as well, is because its focus is sort of all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know, like, when
Like-
games do like, something like farming as their main focus, like, I'm a nut for Harvest Moon, obviously.
Right, but then take, Final Fantasy and put Harvest Moon in the middle of it, and it feels like you may have lost focus from what you expected of your game originally.